My name is Teacher Brett, and I'm here as your Go-Go guide to help you pass the GoGoKid demo interview. And if you have failed your demo interview, then this video is for you. Or if you're just preparing and trying to get ready, these are some things you want to avoid when you go into the GoGoKid interview. Now, if you have failed the GoGoKid demo interview, don't worry, stick around to the end because I have something special just for you. And we're gonna get started on this video right now. Welcome back to my classroom. I'm glad you're joining me here. I want to give you guys 3 reasons why you're probably failing your GoGoKid interview lesson. Now, before I jump in and talk to you about the 3 reasons that you're probably failing your GoGoKid interview, I want to talk to you about one major reason that I see a lot of people fail. And that's because you don't meet the basic requirements for GoGoKid. What that means is that you, number 1, have to have a bachelor's degree. There is no exception here. You're going to have to submit your transcript or your actual degree, so you need to have a bachelor's degree. Number 2 is you need to be legally able to work in the US or Canada. So you need to have a North American driver's license or passport that you can provide to show that you're legally able to work here. The other thing that you need to do is have some experience with children. So if during the interview you mentioned that you don't have any of those 3 things, this is going to be an automatic fail. The other thing I want you to be aware of is if you have a really heavy accent. I have noticed that if you have a really heavy accent, that the odds of you passing that demo, no matter how great of a teacher you are not going to be great. So if you have a non-native accent or a very heavy accent that makes it difficult for students to understand you, you might not be passing the interview for that reason. So putting all those issues aside, let's talk about the 3 issues that may be causing you to fail your interview. The number 1 thing I see for people who don't pass the interview is they didn't prepare. This may be because you are coming from another online ESL company, or maybe you're a teacher in a regular brick and mortar school, so you think, I got this in the bag, I don't need to prepare. That is not the case. The GoGoKid platform's interactive, so even if you feel like you have all the teaching and the ESL skills down, you need to be able to navigate the portal and use the different tools. You're allowed to get into the classroom up to 30 minutes beforehand, so make sure that you do that so that you have a chance to study playing around with the different tools. Now, you won't be expected to use all the tools, and you're not going to be expected to be perfect with the tools, but what I find is people get in there and they get nervous and they are confused, and that ends up bringing all of those teaching skills down because they're too worried about the platform. So make sure that you prepare in advance. Make sure you read through all the materials that GoGoKid provides you. You've got some props, you've got a nice background, your tech is all set up. These things, if you have them ready and have them under control, are going to create a lot less stress for that interview time. You're also going to be interviewing either with a live interviewer who's an adult, which can be really awkward to sit in front of. So if you haven't practiced and prepared with maybe another adult or someone else in your house, this can also be a little bit nervous and be a little awkward and weird and make your interview not so great. If you don't get a live interview, then when you hop into that interview time, you're going to see nobody. And that means you're in a recorded demo, which means you're doing this entire thing with nobody on the other end, which again can be really awkward if you haven't practiced and aren't prepared. So you want to be ready for both options, either having an adult in there that's pretending to be a student or having nobody in there and you're just pretending there's an imaginary student on the other end. The second reason I see people fail at GoGoKid is because of low energy. Now, some of this comes from being nervous, some of it comes from not being prepared if you haven't prepared properly, but if you have a low energy, you are not going to pass. You are teaching young students, often with very little English skills. So you need to have a lot of energy, be very expressive, be engaging. It's hard to keep a little kid paying attention to a computer screen on the other side of the world for 25 minutes if you're not engaging and entertaining. So you do need to have a lot of energy. And lots of people say, well, do I have to be, as bubbly as you or some of these other people I see on the computer? No, you don't. But I suggest you pull out all the stops for the interview. Once you pass the interview, you'll find your group of students. There are some students who like a little more laid back teacher, or older students who want a, more serious teacher. That definitely can be the case, but for the interview, you are doing a lesson for a young, zero English student. So you want to pull out all the stops for the interview, have a lot of energy, be a clown if you want to for the interview. I know people hate saying, oh, I don't want to be a clown. Do it for the interview, pass the interview, and then you can find your niche of kids that will want to follow you. The third reason I see people fail the GoGoKid interview is they use too much incidental language. That means the language that you are using, you the teacher. Throw the key away, zip your mouth. I know it seems counterproductive because you're in an interview. Shouldn't I be showing off my teaching skills and talking? Yes. But remember, ESL is all about getting the student to speak in English. These students have very little English to begin with. So if you're using a lot of words, they're not going to understand. So you want to keep your language very short and very simple. Circle the boy, not did you see the boy in the middle of the page? He's got yellow hair, he's playing a guitar, he's right in the center. Can you use your mouse and circle him? They're not going to understand all of that. So keep it short, keep it simple. I often see people add a lot of language during the transition. Okay, now we're going to. On this page, I want you to do, over here I see a cut out the transitional language, keep it short and simple. It's awkward for us native English speakers to break it down, but think about yourself talking to a 2-year-old or a 3-year-old. You're using very short, simple sentences. This doesn't mean you're going to use incorrect grammar or baby talk. You still want regular, complete sentences, just nice and simple, not a lot of extra language. By reducing the amount of language you're using, you'll be able to get the student to talk more. We want lots of student output during that interview. So you want to constantly be having, if you're in a live interview, having the interviewer repeating after you, or if you're in a recorded demo, you want to be showing whoever's watching the recorded demo that you're doing a lot of stopping and repeating and having the student speak back to you, because ultimately that's what the parents want. They are here to hear their students speak English, not you. They already know you can speak English. They want to hear Bao Bao speaking in English. So those are my 3 top reasons that I see people fail the GoGoKid interview. Now, as I promised, I have a special offer for those of you that have failed the GoGo interview. What I want you to do is head down below, send me an email, and let me know that you failed the GoGoKid interview. I want to work with you and be your referrer to help you pass. I have lots of different information out there, resources, private materials that are just for my referees. So contact me and let me know what we can do to help you pass the interview. If one of these 3 things was your issue, you already know, but sometimes you might not be sure why you didn't pass the interview. I'd love to work with you, help you figure that out, and see if we can get you over to GoGoKid. So right now, head down below, check out my email address or check out my website, contact me and let me know that you saw this video, you failed the GoGoKid interview, and you want me to help coach you and get you to pass. Thanks for joining me, guys. I hope you pass your GoGoKid interview so that I can see you at GoGoKid really soon. Bye.